So we have seen area and perimeter before, right? We saw it in 8th grade. We saw it in 7th grade. It out for sure. We've seen it a whole bunch of times. Basically, if you know the formulas for area, you can solve for the area of basically any shape, as long as we know the formulas. So that's what we're going to write down first, is the formulas for different types of shapes. Do I need a formula for perimeters? How do you find perimeter? You add all of the sides. Good. So we're going to write down the formulas for area. First, we're going to do rectangle. And parallelogram. They have the same formula. Rectangle and parallelogram. We should, at this point, know the formula for rectangle. What is the area formula for rectangle? Yes, good. Or, in this class, we're going to use base times height. No, you still have to write them down, Lewis. I don't see them on your website. It's linked to the days. So, area equals base times height for both rectangle and parallelogram. Then, next we're going to have triangle. What is the formula for triangle? What is the formula for triangle? Good. 1/2 what? Perfect. Next, we'll have trapezoid. Oh no. Now, before we get to trapezoid actually, I'm going to just draw a little triangle over here. And it's going to have a little height inside. Where is my base on this triangle? Oh, it's the bottom. What makes that the base? It's not just the base because it's on the bottom. Oh, remember, the relationship between base and height is that the height and base are always perpendicular to each other. So because the height, we know that this is the height. Because the height is perpendicular to that bottom line, that's what makes it the base. Not that it's just laying on the bottom. Height is always perpendicular to the base. Okay, back to trapezoid. Our area formula for trapezoid is 1/2 B1 plus B2 times H. What do you think those B's stand for? Oh, base 1 and base 2. I'm going to draw a little trapezoid. And I'm just going to put B1 and B2. And where is the height? Right, the distance between B1 and B2 is the height. It must be perpendicular to both bases. And second to last, we're going to do kite and rhombus. They have the same formula. Area equals 1/2 D1 times D2. Does anyone know what those D's stand for? So let me draw, maybe drawing the kite will clue you in. Oh, yes. Draw a little kite. The D's stand for the lengths of the diagonals. So I know this is really tiny and it's really small to write on, and it's really hard to show, but the length from the top to the bottom here is the length of our first diagonal, and the length from the side to side is the length of the second diagonal. And those are interchangeable. So the length from corner to corner is one diagonal, and the length from the other corner to the other corner is the second diagonal. Okay. And lastly, circle. What is the area formula for circle? Area. Pi r squared. And what is the circumference of a circle? What is the circumference of a circle? 2 pi r. Perfect. Any questions here? So far, these are just the formulas, and these are all the formulas you'll need for this unit. Okay, now we're just going to do two examples. So, what type of shape do we have here? Oh, it's a trapezoid. What is my formula for area of a trapezoid?
Base 1 plus base 2.
Yeah. That's our formula. Area equals 1/2 B1 plus B2 times the height. Kobe, I'm going to have to move you if you two can't be quiet. I normally don't. Things like that. All right. So, do I have both of my bases at this point and my height? I have one of the bases, right? What is it? Yeah, that we'll call that my B1. B1. And do I have my bottom base?
Yes.
How?
Put it down below.
Oh, I know that if that top is 6, what else is 6? Oh, why? What shape is in that middle? Oh, well, no. What is it? Rectangle. And we know opposite sides on rectangles are the same, congruent. So if that top is 6, that bottom is 6. So the entire length here is how long?
10.
How'd you get that? Ah, 2 plus 2 plus 6 gives us 10. That's our second base, B2. And what is our height? 3. Now I just need to plug those values in. And that's it. Area equals 1/2 B1 plus B2. So our B1 was how long again? And our B2 is how long? And our height is how long? How long was our height? 3. So now just put that in your calculator. 1/2 times 6 plus 10 times 3. 6 plus 10 is 16, so it's just 1/2 times 16 times 3. 1/2 times 16 is 8. What's 8 times 3? What's my unit? Inches what? Squared. It is squared this time because this is area. It is two-dimensional. And that's my answer. And I'm done. That's it. So like I was saying, a composite shape is a shape made up of multiple other shapes. So I know if we were just to look at the outline of this shape, it would look crazy. But when we break it into two separate shapes, it's manageable. What can we break this up into? Oh, there's a square at the bottom. Then what type of shape is up top? A kite. So if we find the area of both of these shapes and add them together, we'll have the complete area. This is called a composite shape. Now, how do I find the area of the square at the bottom? Oh, yes. So the formula for area of a square is base times height. And both the base and the height are 6. So 6 times 6 is how much? So our area of the bottom is 36 inches squared. Now, what type of shape did we say was up top again? Oh, it's a kite. So, area of a kite is equal to what?
1/2
1/2 plus
Times d2. Do we have both of these diagonals? They're drawn, for sure. Do we have one of the diagonals? What is it? 10. That's our first diagonal. Excuse me. Now, do I have the value of the second diagonal at this point? No. But I am given that this length with the 1 tick mark is how big? 6. So that means that everything with 1 tick mark is 6 long. That means that's 6 and also that's 6. What type of shape is this?
triangle.
Oh, and are we missing the third side on the right triangle? How do you find the third side? Oh, to find the third side on a right triangle that I have 2 sides of, I use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A and B are my 2 shorter sides, and C is the longest side. So, 6 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. 6 squared is 36.
72.
Good. 36 plus 36 is 72. Is that the length of my diagonal? Right there.
No.
What do I need to do? Oh, to get the C unsquared, I must square root. Square root is the opposite of what? Squaring. So to get the square off of the C, I square root both sides. What is it?
8.49.
So my diagonal, my D2, is actually 8.49 long. That's my D2. That's what I put in for my D2. Oh, I was about to write D2 again. And then putting that in the calculator, 1/2 times 10 times 8.49.
42.4.
And what's my unit? So this is 42.45 inches squared. You don't need to write it in there like that. I just like doing that. I don't know why. So what do I do to get the full area?
You gotta add the square and the kite together.
Add the square, which was 36, and add the kite, which was 42.45, and you get, what is it?
78.9.
And what's my unit? Inches what? Squared. And I'm done. Any questions on this problem?
Nope.
What?
I didn't.
You got lost?
Where's the a squared and the b squared? I know they're triangles there. I don't know which one.
So let me try a different color. I'll do the white. This is our A, and this is the B. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. The 6 and the 6 are our A and B. And we use them to find the C. Any other questions?